All right, I see some great discussion going on. Hopefully this is part of the networking and the bonding, and I don't remember if it was Carrie or Jackie this morning said just loving on each other on this big family. So, all right, so share with me, if you would, what are some of those, and by the way, you may hear some duct tape going on in the background, but our lovely Nick is making sure I don't trip and wipe out over the cord. So, what are some of the symptoms of burnout? Apathy. Ooh, just, I don't care, to heck with it, okay? What was that? Apathy, okay, apathy. All right, what else from the front row? Sleeplessness, okay. Just not being able to sleep, all right. Very common one. What else? Cranky and irritable. Cranky and irritable, okay. I have a feeling we might hear that one on that third question. Irritable. Why does spelling go away when you're up here on the board? It just leaves you. We got 2 R's or 1 R? 2. Irritable. Okay. All right. What else? I'm going to be irritable because I can't spell on a whiteboard. Frequent illness. Okay, getting sick. I believe I've got some statistics on that one. Frequent illness. Boy, that's going to be fun to get to the cost question on that one. Okay, what else? Negative attitude. Okay. Kind of goes along with apathy too, right? Just being negative, to heck with it. All right. Any others on the right side? Self-medicating. Probably number one answer in our society. Self-medication. In a number of ways. Okay. What else coming from the back? Lack of motivation. So kind of along the apathy line. Yep. Just don't feel like doing anything. Yes. Fatigue. Just being tired. So which is kind of the opposite of sleeplessness. Maybe all of a sudden we're sleeping more. Okay. What other ones have we not captured? Just the dread of going to work. Wow, we just begin to lose that enthusiasm for what it is we signed up to do with our career. Okay, just dread going to work. Busy work or missing work, okay? So frequent illness and then just missing work. All of a sudden excuses start happening, okay? What others have we missed? Yes? Okay, relationships are being affected negatively. Okay, good. And then behind you, there was another one. Tardiness. Oh, being late. Okay. Wow, good ones. What else? What have we missed? Sickness. Okay, we've got frequent illness. Okay, being sick in general. Good. What else? Unable to focus. Ooh, wow, resentment. Resentment. Good one. Okay. Depression. What else? Yes. Anxiety. All of a sudden we're just anxious for no reason. We can't really pinpoint, put our finger on it. Any others that we've missed? Wow, forgetfulness. Gosh, that's deep, but that's true. So when that brain, I sometimes equate it to a hard drive. If that hard drive gets full or it's overloaded, it's spinning too fast, we begin to forget things that we wouldn't normally forget. Great one. Wow, no sense of humor. No sense of humor. What else? Decrease or lack of social life, okay? Decrease or lack of social. I thought you were going somewhere else there, but I'll catch it if somebody else doesn't. Less approachable or unapproachable, okay? And I don't know if y'all are taking notes on these, and of course you can always take a picture, but this is for you to just share with your team and just keep it front of mind. So great, and one more, she's on fire. Argumentative, defensive or argumentative, good one. Okay, defensive or argumentative?
Questioning your field or your abilities.
Okay, questioning your field, we begin to question ourselves. Great. And that goes along sometimes even with dread for work. And then there was another one I missed behind. Did I miss another one back behind? No? Okay. Disorganized. That can go along with the forgetful one too, right? We start slipping. These are great. What about sex drive? Does it stay amazingly fantastic when we're burnt out and stressed out? No. Okay, that's no fun, and that can bring a whole lot of other problems. So sex drive begins to reduce, and even if it's not just sex, it can be just the social thing. All of a sudden, you don't have you used to love to cook, now you just don't want to cook anymore. You used to love to garden, and now there's weeds. So, okay, yes.
Your fatigue would be covered by mental and physical fatigue.
Great point. So it's not just being tired, but it's mental fatigue and physical fatigue. Great point. Thank you. Weight gain. Oh, thank you for bringing that one up. Weight gain. We turn to comfort food, which it could also be, now for some people then don't want to eat, so it could be a loss, right? Loss of appetite too. So weight gain or loss. Change in eating habits. Hopelessness, wow. Taking depression to another level. Did I miss any? Gosh, y'all are on fire. But anything that doesn't kind of fit in one of these categories, yes? Ooh, lack of empathy. Wow. And that's dangerous in this field, isn't it? When we're taking care of others, and it's dangerous with our families too. All right, so big old laundry list here. Apathy, negative attitude, lack of empathy, less approachable, decreased sex drive, mental and physical fatigue, sleeplessness, weight gain or weight loss, being cranky or irritable, frequent illness, which also missing work, being late, anxiety, self-medicating, questioning the field, having a dread for work, negatively affecting relationships, unable to focus, having resentment, which could be depression, which could be hopelessness, no sense of humor, being forgetful or disorganized, becoming argumentative or defensive, good old-fashioned anxiety, and then just decreased or lack of social, just being around people or just being social in general. So it is not good stuff. So we have to address it, right? Would you agree? So what's the second question? If we let this stuff go too far, and we do, what's the impact? What is the impact to us personally? Does anybody want to scribe? Anybody feel like writing, doesn't like to sit? Like me, likes to stand? Okay, Nancy's coming from the back and probably has prettier handwriting than I do. We'll be your spell check, how's that? So what's the impact personally? What's the cost? Okay, health. Loss of income. Okay, loss of income. It could get that serious.
Self-esteem problems.
Wow, self-esteem issues. Mental health. Just not being in a good place mentally. What other personal impacts? Okay, physical, the toll that it takes on our physical health. Yes?
Dissatisfaction or looking for the next better job.
Wow, good one. Dissatisfaction. In fact, I'm going to read you a statistic on that right now if I can put my finger on it. 50% of millennials, 40% of Gen X, and 35% of baby boomers say burnout is the motivating factor to consider changing jobs. Burnout factor. So you're right on it. You got that one right? Dissatisfaction?
Alienation.
Will you repeat that one more time?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. And that came from accessperks.com. It was a 2016 employment engagement loyalty statistic. 50% of millennials, cite that burnout was their motivating factor to change jobs. 40% of Gen X and 35% of baby boomers. Burnout's the reason that they're wanting to switch jobs. 50%? Burnout? Wow. Okay. What other impact, what other cost can this have? Cost to your family, such as?
Maybe negative relationships, maybe you're not talking to them as much.
Okay.
Maybe you're arguing more.
Okay. So the negative relationships, maybe you're arguing, maybe you're not communicating, you kind of go into that alienation mode. The decreased sex drive, you don't want to be social, don't want to play with the kids, all sorts of things that could come. So we've got that whole family relationship aspect. Any other personal ones that we haven't touched on? Poor job performance. So let's move into professional. So professional-wise, you can keep it on the same page. So professionally, poor job performance. Can you give me an example? Just, ooh, okay. She said poor quality, skewing ethical lines. Ouch. Okay, that starts when we're in that place. We're just not clear. We're not on our game. Then all of a sudden, well, I'm not going to put exactly what that client said in the file folder because I don't want to have to file that report, right? So, wow, muddying the ethical lines. Doubt. Okay. Regret, and regret's personal, but also professional too. And I think that goes back to what we were talking about, a symptom of questioning even while we're in the field. Okay? Poor client care, it can end up showing up then, which goes back to that apathy, right? And lack of empathy sometimes. All of a sudden we're not giving them our best because we, as I said before, our cup's not full, so how can we overflow to them?
You said alienation as well.
Okay, if the providers aren't good, it could affect the image of the organization. Sure, absolutely. If the care's not good, word gets out that the treatment's not that effective or whatever the situation may be. And then alienation was the other one. Did I get that correct, Joy? Alienation, okay. Professional cost. Yes? That's a good one. Not recognizing small successes in clients. Also, we're back to the game assignment, aren't we? Oh, well, you're not cured in a week, this is not working, then we don't celebrate those tiny baby steps because sometimes we get to the point where we can't see it. When that cloud gets so dark over our own head, it's tough for us to see a little bit of sunlight in others. Good one. So organizationally, how does it affect the organization overall? Some of these overlap with the poor client care, just organizational perspective, their brand, skewing their brand. Yes? Okay, impacts the teamwork, especially if somebody's coming in late, they're getting sick, they're not pulling their weight. Now everyone else is on their way to burnout and stress. Yes? Loss of money for the organization. Can you elaborate? Okay, loss of income. You're dreading the next client, so you don't schedule as many, or you don't give them the kind of service that they need. Great, yes. Turnover, hello. Turnover's huge. Creating silos, where we start to get clicks. Is that what you're kind of meaning? Okay.
Like if I'm alienating and isolating, then I may not want to reach out and help someone else or have that teamwork and things like that.
If I'm alienating and isolating, then I may not want to reach out with someone and have that teamwork. And depending on where you're at, a lot of the treatment is a team environment, correct? And so you've got to rely on each other to bring your A game to be able to help the people that you're serving. And again, we've added on, we talked a little bit about that this morning, when we've got less and less resources, you're trying to cram more into a shorter day. So that's reality. So that we're even more subject to burnout and distress than we were years ago when we had some more resources and some more time and maybe even more people to help us do what we needed to do. Yes? You resist change. Resist change. That can be a huge organizational thing. Why do we have to do that? We've always done it this way. Good one.
Organizational-wise, it would be
Cost of retraining, that's a good one. Cost of retraining, organizational, which can go just existing staff, but it can go to the turnover key point as well. Any other hot ones that we've missed that are worth pointing out? Yes? Negative agency atmosphere, just having that toxic environment. Everybody can't walk into work and kick the coffee machine and, and smack the refrigerator, right? The water cooler. Yes? Some division amongst the team, amongst the workplace. Okay, just division, people not understanding. Yes, and one more?
Maybe even like the cost of benefits that's being, from the agency onto the employee, because more people are sick and you're having to use all of your benefits and the increase in insurance providers, and so each year you're having an impact on your benefits.
Great. I mean, but really, if we were to study this, it's impact on benefits. So if more people are sick, if more people are taking time away, that insurance cost could increase the cost of just insurance to the individual employee. So good one, very good one. So there definitely is a cost, right, to us, for both personally, our families, the people around us, professionally, and to the organization as well. So let's give Nancy a round of applause. Thank you so much for your help. So y'all, I'm going to give you just throw out a couple of statistics. I don't want to bore you with them, but I think it's important just that we solidify and that this is an issue. 64% of employees reported high levels of stress. That was in 2014. Percentage of adults who believed stress was the cause of their headaches in 2017, 62%. That's this year. 62% believe that the cause of their headache was stress. Workplace stress, here's an impact for you. Workplace stress cost more than $300 billion each year in healthcare, missed work, and even stress reduction. So now we need the EAP to help ourselves, right? So there's a cost to that as well. And then lastly, workers who report that they are stressed incur healthcare costs that are 46% higher, which they came up with an average of $600 more per person than other employees. So when we're stressed, it has that physical toll on us, right, that we don't realize. So we have to learn to identify it and stop it from the beginning. Fair enough? And in this world where it's push, 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 go, 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 that we're expected to be supermen and superwomen, plus we're trying to take care of a family, friends, goodness gracious, aging parents, and we're trying to take care of the clients. We have to begin to identify it. So I think we've done that now. We've identified what these symptoms are, but then we have to stop it. So anyone willing to just identify, anyone want to share when you know you've gone too far, what your flag is? I shared for me when silence is, when things get too quiet. Yes? When you don't want to go to work, when you lose that enthusiasm, okay? Yes? Okay, when the small things bring out irritability that otherwise wouldn't bother you, and now it's just ticking you off, okay? Thank you for sharing that. What are some other just red flags that you know about yourself? Poor sleep, okay. Went back to the sleeplessness.
Approachability, and also maybe being more inclined to have solutions rather than reflective with the people on the ground.
Okay, so being more inclined to just let me fix you, let me give you the answer, instead of having the patience and really being fully present, if I may use that term, to hear what someone, so this could be a team member, it could be a family member, it could be a client that we serve, being more reflective and really listening to them and being fully present. When we're just like, I need you to fix you and get out of my hair. Good one, really good one. And I'm not on the sleeplessness, I sleep. So that's another one. When I know, when the world gets overwhelming to me, I just go, I think I'll take a nap. Because it begins to be too overwhelming. Anybody else a sleeper likes to take naps? Okay, a few of you. So you turn to sleep as a way of escape. And a little bit of self-medication for that too. Okay, what other ones that you recognize when you've gone too far? Yes?
Focus on the negative instead of the solution.
Okay, so focusing on the negative instead of the solution. When we just start to see everything through a negative lens. So I guess the question is, do we see that, or is it what other people say to us? Do you have that accountability partner that can say, what's your name? Becky, hey, can we have lunch? Because you've been super negative lately, and I want to know what's going on. Why was that funny? Y'all would never say that? You would never say that? Okay.
I'm Becky, and I said I get
Okay, you're Becky. How would you say that then if that wouldn't work in your world? How would you pull somebody aside to smack them upside the head, so to speak?
Why are you being such a bitch?
Joy just says, why are you being such a witch? We'll substitute witch. So some of you are more comfortable being straightforward depending on your environment, and others of you need a soft approach. Let's go to lunch, let's talk about this. But the question is, do you have somebody in your life that can call you out on that can go? Recently, my husband and I, it was President's Day weekend, and I had won at a raffle a 2-night stay at the Hilton down there in St. Augustine. Lovely, beautiful property. So we decided last minute to go, and I just basically turned the phone off. I'm like, I'm not going to work this weekend. I'm going to get away from it. And at the end of the weekend, I said to my husband, I said, I did not realize how much I needed to get away. And he looked at me and he said, I did realize how much you needed to get away. So I had not seen it in myself, but I was maxing out, and I was beginning to do some of those things and some of those symptoms of just being stressed out and burned out that I needed to take a step away. So I want to give you any other comments. I don't want to shut anybody off. If anybody else wants to share what are those little triggers, those things that you identify with?
to have a self-talk the other day and said, I want my happy back.
You had a self-talk with yourself and said, I want my happy back. I like that. But that's great. That's what we've got to do. That's what we've got to do. So we know that it has an impact. We know that it's very, very real. So what do we do about it? So I want you to, again, I'm just going to ask you to take away one nugget. Maybe you'll take away several. Maybe some of it's to share with your team in a loving way, not over lunch, or someone that you know. But is to take one away for you and then one that maybe you can share with others. So that's my goal for you today. So I'm going to give you the 3 cues. These are my 3 cues for self-care. Number 1 is more quiet time. More quiet time. So what does that look like? I mentioned to you that for me, it's often when we've got the radio on, we've got stuff going on in the background, the TV's going on, got to have something, we got an earbud in an ear all the time. So when can we have that quiet time? To take time just to reflect. Maybe it's time to meditate, to pray, whatever that is for you. Maybe it's doing exercise that is where we're not bombarding our brain with music, but we're just actually going and running or walking or doing yoga or whatever that is for you, that you're taking that time. Maybe it's that gardening or cooking, but we're doing it without noise in the background so that we have that more quiet time just to reflect and be with ourselves without an outside influence. Because otherwise, we get bombarded with so many messages a day. Do you remember when we didn't have email? Remember that? And when a fax was like, whoa, you got a fax, and that was instant message right then and there. But now we just got it coming at us 24/7, and we're overloaded, so we have to learn to cut it off and have more quiet time. So can I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 volunteers? Do I have any tennis players in the room? Do I have anybody that plays tennis? Somebody that can pretend like they like tennis. I need a volunteer. Yes, thank you. Come in front. See, the back row is on fire today, y'all. So come on, back row. Come on up. She's just like, oh, I didn't know I had to come up. I promise I won't do anything to embarrass you. Ropes will not be involved. I promise. Okay, and then do I have any golfers in the room? I need 3 golfers. Okay, we got 1 golfer. Joy's a golfer. Come on up, Joy. Need 1 more golfer. Pretend to be a golfer. Knows a golfer. Knows what a golf ball looks like. Just simply wants to thank you. Just wants to, oh, she's leaving. Never mind. Thank you. I thought you were my volunteer. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Okay, thank you. Becky's coming up. Okay, and then somebody in the room who loves black-eyed peas. Okay, y'all are lying. I promise I'm not going to do anything to embarrass you. I just need 1 more volunteer. Thank you for being a team player. Okay, so what I'm going to do, ask all of you to come over here and just stand on this side of the room, if you would. So, I've got well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Golfer, Doug, Joy, and, whoops, I told you they wouldn't be involved. Lisa, whoa, sorry, Lisa. Golfer, okay. Okay, you'll be the golfer. You're the tennis player. Thank you, Lisa. And my girl, I was gonna say, am I dropping everything? And Briley, my black eyed peas girl. Okay, so pretty much this is how we start our day, right? What do most of you do in the morning besides brush your teeth and go to the bathroom? When you show up at work? Check email, exactly. So let's pour about half of that bag in. We check emails, we look through the inbox, we see if there's any memos. So we're gonna put half of that in that little tennis. This is dangerous because you're pouring? Okay, that's perfect, that's great, okay. All right, after that, what do we have? What's a typical day look like? What was that? Meeting. Oh, meeting, yep, let's put one of those golf balls, Doug, you're in with a meeting. Any more meetings? Yep, let's have another meeting. Let's have another meeting, Joy, meeting, yep, golf ball in. Okay, what do we do after we got 2 meetings? What else do we do? What was the phone? Answer the phone, let's pour some more peas in. I got out the phone. She's like, oh, I thought I was done. Nope, leave that one open. So we answer the phone, we're responding to phone calls, maybe even conference calls too. Okay, perfect, all right. And then what else do we do? What's the rest of the day look like? Oh, we're gonna see a client. Finally, we had lunch, thank goodness. So I see a client, all right, Lisa, let's put that tennis ball in there. And then we've got, what do we missed? We got one more, okay, we got one more meeting. Let's try to put that in there. One more meeting, okay. That's not exactly gonna fit. We got more peas? So we gotta check, we gotta do reports, right? Okay, all right, hold on. That's not gonna fit, All right, documentation and paperwork. So let's pour the peas in there. Yes, ma'am, thank you. I don't know what went wrong here, but anyway, okay. So that's what a typical day looks like, right? We do a bunch of stuff. We got meetings, we got reports. Oh, and we serve some clients. By the way, we have meetings with our staff. What we really need to do, what should be the most important thing of the day? The client. So we really should make the tennis ball be the most important thing of the day. That's where we should start. And then after that, we have to keep things going. We have to meet with our team. So what should be the next things? The meetings. Okay, so meetings, we've got to have compliance. We've got to do the reports. We've got to make sure we're maintaining communication with our team. And then what needs to be last? Everything else. So, I'm going to make a mess. Thank you, Doug. Because my 4-quart pitcher didn't fit. And shake them up a little bit. Okay. Thank you for being my human funnel.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now look what happened. When we reorder our lives and we put the tennis balls in first. So, what happens in our day? What do we fill most of our days with?
The minutia.
The minutia, the black-eyed peas. That can be a little Facebook, it can be some TV in our personal life, it can be the stuff that's not critical. But what else needs to be that tennis ball besides our clients? Ourselves. We have to make ourselves a priority, because if we don't, what did I say earlier today? If you don't set your priorities, your circumstances will. So we have to put the tennis balls in first. Then we put the critical things. Yes, the reports aren't going to go away, meetings aren't going to go away, conference calls aren't going to go away, but we put that secondary to the most important things, and then we fill in the smaller stuff. But we reorder our lives so that we set ourselves up for failure, and we're wondering why we can't get the tennis ball in at the end of the day. So first, let's thank our volunteers. Thank you so much. I'm going to return to your seats. I motivated them to cook off. I love it. So I want to ask you, what are the tennis balls in your life? So take just a moment and write down, what are those things that you really need to be focusing on a daily, weekly, maybe even monthly basis? Is it that date night with the spouse? Is it spending time with your partner and really looking them eyeball to eyeball and having that intimate conversation? Is that a tennis ball in your life that maybe you've been neglecting? Is it, yeah, you know what, we used to do 60-minute appointments, now we're doing 45-minute appointments, and we don't do that group stuff like we used to. Maybe we need to put more focus on the client care. Maybe that's a tennis ball. So take a moment and determine, what are those tennis balls in your life that you should be putting as a priority?